America's favorite emo frontman, Billy Corgan, was on Insight with Chris Van Vliet this week, talking about the good old NWA promotion, specifically the big two-night event that it was promoting. I'm not here to plug the date. I don't know when it is. Two-night show. Billy seems obsessed with that. We'll touch on that later. For NWA, Billy really talking up the NWA, standing behind his choices in who he's pushing. People like EC3 and Tyrus and fucking Trevor Murdoch and these kind of guys. Camille. But then also made a strong pitch for his belief that the wrestling community as a whole, all these other smaller promotions, need to band together to do one big super event 2 days a week. Or two days in a row, I should say. 2 days a week. 2 nights in a row, a 2-day event with every single wrestling promotion, or at least all the majors, getting together to for one giant show to push back against the big corporate machine of Endeavor, UFC, and the WWE, and unite all the fans and make a shit ton of money. There's only one problem with that. We'll talk about that when we get on the other side. Check out this clip with William Patrick Corgan. Tonight.
As a critic from the outside, because I can walk both sides of it, is wrestling is passing up a tremendous opportunity. And by the way, now that WWE is being sold to Endeavor, you now have a $21 billion company with UFC over here and WWE over here. So that puts even more pressure on everybody else that's not in that ecosystem.
Yeah.
And whether you want to start with Tony and work your way down, or New Japan and work your way down, it doesn't matter. Whether it's Scott D'Amore or Billy Corgan or Tony Khan, we're all faced with this Goliath.
Yeah.
We will see marketing like you've never seen. We will see, I mean, you can't even imagine what they're going to do. I mean, they're licking their chops. They are about to run the fight game for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
So again, somebody who's not worried about the ego of it goes, well, why wouldn't you put all these things together and create something that the Goliath can't mess with?
Yeah.
So if that sounds self-serving, go ahead. I'm just pointing out, it's like the king has no clothes. It's like, does anybody see what's possible? Would you be interested in an event where the top wrestlers not signed to WWE once a year would be in the same building?
Of course. And I think that the answer from every wrestling fan is yes. Hell yeah.
Okay. Would it make sense if it was a 2-day event?
Sure.
Okay.
Sign me up.
Don't you think it's possible that you could take the top talent from every company and put that together in a way that would be, every media would have to cover it. It would be unmistakable. It would sell out a stadium, no problem. For 2 nights, no problem. It would be a destination event, whether it was in Vegas or Green Bay, Wisconsin.
If anyone could do it, I think Billy Corgan could bring
No,
this together.
I don't have that.
You could talk to Tony. You could talk to Scott.
Tony don't want to talk to me about it. Again, and I'm going back to let's call it the more respectful side of the conversation. Tony's worried about Tony. Scott's worried about Scott. Billy's worried about Billy. You know,
pumpkins.
Cool. Everybody could do what they want to do. I'm not the little kid in the corner begging. I don't need anybody's help. NWA is completely self-funded. I don't have any partners. I don't need anybody's permission. So everything we've talked about is basically the NWA being its own ecosystem in its own world. So if that's all we ever are, that's fine. I think it's a disservice on a business level and to the fans to not put something together that the Goliath over here. And trust me, if you thought WWE was powerful before, you have no idea what's coming now.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, Billy. If only somebody could do just a really massive show to really just counteract the WWE's big shows, you know? WWE's always out doing these stadium shows, these huge stadiums. They're always selling 50, 60, 70,000, 80,000. If only somebody could do a stadium show with all the biggest stars not signed by WWE that could counteract the WWE and do tremendous business and get all these news article attentions from, say, like Forbes magazine and things like that. If only, Billy, that's such a great idea. If only somebody would think of that. You know, because WWE is so international now and business is worldwide. It would be nice if somebody thought on a worldwide global level, right? You know, like a stadium show in another country or something. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if somebody had the forethought like you, Billy, to do that. And if only they could just join forces with Billy Corgan and the NWA and all the other indie promotions together, they could possibly achieve it. And look, on top of that, what about, you know, a show where you get all your favorite dream matches, interpromotional, like like a Forbidden Door or something, where there's just, you know, people coming in and out of this proverbial Forbidden Door facing each other. You get my point, right? I'm beating a dead horse here. You get where I'm going with this. Billy is preaching to the motherfucking choir. He's pitching shit, and you heard it in a nutshell when Chris was like, "Oh, I'm sure you're Billy Corgan. You could get this done." He's like, Tony doesn't want to hear from me. Why would he? It's not even like, I don't know if they've had any kind of falling out over business or disagreements or whatever. But outside of that, like, what? To what benefit would it be for Tony Khan to pair up with the NWA at this point, or any other promotion outside of New Japan, to do a super, like, he's already doing a stadium show. It's already happening. Maybe in the United States, perhaps. That's a fair point. You can push back and say that, but Billy did even mention that, you know, how WWE's going global now, and it's a global market, and blah, 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 blah. Not to mention the Forbidden Door show, where New Japan people will wrestle. We had some amazing dream matches on the last card. So really what Billy is saying is it would be nice if we were a part of these big things too. We being Trevor Murdoch in his flannel shirt and his chew spit. Or EC3. Trouble, 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 trouble. Well, there's Control Your Narrative. Shit. Braun Strowman. And don't forget Tyrus. Big Tyrus. Big T. I actually don't mind Tyrus at all, but he's certainly not like... You know what All In and Forbidden Door are missing? Trevor Murdoch and Tyrus. That's what those shows need. Then it's a fucking super show. And one of those guys will have to go over one of your guys. So let's put Trevor Murdoch over Kenny Omega. Or we'll put Tyrus over Kenny Omega. And we'll let fucking Darby Allin beat Trevor Murdoch. Okay? Okay? Good. What are we doing here, guys? What do you think? What delusional world does Billy Corgan live on where he thinks that the NWA has anything to contribute to AEW at this point? That they're not, it's two completely different levels. AEW's doing a stadium show with they just set the record. They need fucking EC3 on their card. Now, it would be cool to get Matt Cardona involved. I think Matt Cardona is doing the best work in some of the best work in wrestling, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, check out this clip. He recently had his match at GCW. They had a death match. I didn't see it, but this clip is making its rounds, and I popped so hard for this. Still got a boner now. Check out this clip.
What in the world? Of the opponents of Nick Cage and
I can download stuff at the airport tomorrow night when I come back, so.
That's fun. And Matt Cardona is a great guy out on the indies. But overall, like, the rest of the wrestling world outside of New Japan has nothing to offer AEW or the greater wrestling televised stadium wrestling market. They already got a working relationship with Mexico's too. Vikingo's one of their big dudes over there, right? Their top stars. And Penta is too, and they're in AEW, and so it's a very interpromotional show already. It doesn't need your washed up hillbilly redneck studio wrestling Damian Sandow. It doesn't need Damian Sandow. We don't need Aaron Stevens on the All Out card to really make it something special. Look, man, if you want to sell 2 days in the stadium, we need Aaron Stevens on the show. Does Billy understand? Does he understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? That's not black voice. That's an impression of an actual quote from a movie. We're way off track here. I like Billy Corgan. I'm not even trying to mock the guy or make fun of him or anything. I like Billy Corgan. I respect him. I appreciate him. And, he's a legend in the rock and roll business as well. But for him to, I just don't think he's got a proper understanding of AEW or, AEW too, or he sounds salty that we're not all partnering together to take down the machine. Like, he doesn't recognize that AEW's already doing. They have national television. They are selling out. They're basically selling out a stadium. They just set the all-time record, for fuck's sakes. They're selling tickets to arenas every week. They're doing interpromotional business with New Japan and in fucking Mexico and stuff. So sounds like Billy's salty and he just wants to play and can't. And so he's blaming it on, well, nobody wants to work and everybody's got their head up their ass and worried about their own business. Or maybe you just don't have anything to offer. And that's Billy Corgan's got a lot to offer. He's a very well-connected, rich, famous person. Make no mistake about it. But the NWA, not so much. No, I hope they're able to succeed. Billy still has high hopes for the NWA. He wants to turn them into a national promotion, a big televised. He's trying to pitch TV networks and streaming and that kind of shit, he said. He wants to play with the big boys and thinks that he has an alternative product that the other two companies haven't hit yet. The real guys, the tough guys, the stuff that just hits harder, as he described it. Could be. I don't know. I don't see a lot in the NWA that I like, and the people that do come up through there are just going to end up getting plucked away and signed to the major promotions, as they should be. Camille, I think Camille's got a place in a larger promotion. Damian Sandow is even doing a pretty good job still. He'd be a great manager. He's not wrestling as much now. But you get the point. I think Billy's either delusional or he's just being a grandiose marketer, and that's fine too, as he should be. He should be that promoter that thinks he's on the level of everybody else. But really, they're low tier, man. I mean, they're not your fucking shitbum corner store bodega indie in some guy's garage with lawn chairs out in the crowd, but they're not. I don't even think they're a Ring of Honor. They're a notch below. They're either equal to or a notch below Ring of Honor, to be 100% honest with you. I guess as far as their exposure and everything, but you get my point. a long ways to go. But hell, if he gets that TV deal, he could sign away. He could sign up some better talent. He did say that he doesn't like that NWA is looked at as a nostalgia act, and that he's actively looking to bring it to the modern era and be a competitor. So we shall see. But as for this big super show, I think Corgan's a little bit delusional on this one. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And I'm going to go ahead, smash my neighbor's pumpkins, and move on to the next.
Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.